From a team struggling to breathe to a player tackled by ghosts, these are the craziest complaints from footballers. And for Adem Ljajic, complaining about being substituted got him the beating of his life.
Sembra di lottare problemi fisici per il giovane serbo, ma mi sembra strano comunque.
Incredibile, una rissa Ljajic degli Rossi, mai vista una cosa del genere.
Damn, getting jumped by a bald old man is downright embarrassing. But hey, at least he was human. Unlike the next player who got tackled by ghosts.
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
oh my God, hell no.
Oh dear, when he sees the replay, he's gonna...
Tackling himself might have happened by accident, but having the nerve to ask for a penalty? This is like me sliding into Beyonce's DMs. But at number 23, a player told his coach to f*** off. Back in 2011, Leon Clark was having the time of his life against Southampton, but when the coach decided to take him off, he lost his cool. With the cameras on their faces, the coach tried to calm him down, but when they got into the dressing room, all hell broke loose. Damn, coaches were moving mad back in the days.
Once he came closer, he kept going, carry on, and say bad words. It was friendly to put my arm around his neck. He kept going to say very bad words under the tongue, and I tell you the reality. He pushed me again away, and this moment I pull his shirt and say, now stop, now go in the dressing room. And then, stay.
But at number 22, a player's complaint cost him $50,000. After losing a heated match against their rivals Bayern, Jude Bellingham was frustrated with some of the decisions that went against them. So when he was asked about the game, he dropped a bombshell.
Well, for me it wasn't, he's not even looking at the ball and he's fighting to get it and it hits him. I don't even think he's looking at the ball, but you can look at a lot of the decisions in the game. You give a referee that's match fixed before the biggest game in Germany. What do you expect?
While the accusations made by Bellingham were true, the German FA didn't like the fact that he called out the ref on live TV. So they had a meeting and fined him $50,000. Damn, that might be the most expensive interview of all time. Until I found out about a guy who pissed off Cristiano Ronaldo. You see, back in 2015, Ronaldo went on tour to advertise his new headphones. But while being interviewed on CNN, the reporter decided to ask a dumb question, and that's when Ronaldo flipped.
Cristiano Ronaldo, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros.
Pero no me digas que no hablan de eso en los camarines.
¿Quieres saber la verdad? No hablamos cero sobre eso. Nada. Hablamos de otras cosas.
¿De qué hablan?
De música, de mujeres, de moda, de zapatos, de maletas, de joyas.
Sabes que no te creo, es difícil creerlo. Cristiano, todo el mundo está hablando de eso.
Sí, pero yo no hablo de eso.
Cristiano,
¿Has visto mi
una de las
espectacular?
cosas relacionadas que se habla de esto es el Mundial de Qatar. Muchos deportistas dicen que jugar...
A ver una cosa, espera, a ver.
Speak about FIFA, I don't care about FIFA. Qatar.
As insane as bottling an interview with Ronaldo was, it still couldn't break into our top 20, because still to come is Drogba calling out corrupt referees. And some players struggling to breathe. But before we get to those, we have to see one of the most controversial decisions in Champions League history. During a match between Barcelona and Arsenal, the referee showed Van Persie a red card for literally trying to score a goal.
Fabregas. Van Persie is off. The second yellow card for Robin Van Persie for kicking the ball away. So another twist to the drama.
The reaction on Van Persie's face was how everyone felt that day. So when he was being interviewed after the match, he just had to speak his mind.
In my opinion, it was a total joke, the sending off, because how can I hear his whistle with 95,000 people jumping up?
1 second between the referee whistling and you striking the ball.
But this way, 1 second from his whistle till my shot is just a joke.
But just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, the referees struck again.
Players have to keep their heads as well. A referee from Norway is the strongest official.
After a boring draw at Camp Nou, Chelsea welcomed Barcelona to their stadium with the hopes of securing a win. And as soon as the match started, Michael Essien gave the Blues a well-deserved lead.
Lampard looking to pull it back. And Essien! It's a fantastic start for Chelsea!
But when the referee denied Drogba this clear penalty,
Lampard has helped it through, and Drogba controls. He's gone down, the referee looked at his linesman.
it became obvious that something was up. Deep into the match, another penalty was denied after a handball by Piqué. And with seconds left to play, Iniesta scored the all-important away goal.
It's Iniesta! And the Chelsea fans cover their eyes in horror. 2 minutes from time.
However, Chelsea didn't let the disappointment get to them. They went all out to try and score again. Unfortunately, their complaints fell on deaf ears. And after such one-sided officiating, Didier Drogba had no choice but to complain. But at number 18, another player almost beat up a reporter.
Really, you can tell that by my face? I think this is a big disappointment that you talk this way to me.
Upset about losing to bitter rivals Ajax, Graziano Pelle wasn't happy that a reporter questioned his team's commitment. So he had to put him in his place.
The people here in Rotterdam, they would have expected more like a killing mentality, but not a real passion, not a mentality that I would have expected.
Maybe. You can come to the trainer if you want next week. We invite you of Feyenoord. You can tell us your mentality, how to win the game against Ajax.
I will.
Which team you support?
Sorry?
Which team you support? You know?
I support nothing.
Nothing? I think you support Ajax. Anyway.
Really? Why do you think so?
You have the face that you are Ajax supporters. Anyway.
Really? You can tell that by my face? I think this is a big disappointment that you talk this way to me.
So you talk the same.
This reminds me of the time my boy Balotelli beefed an entire newspaper. Back when Balotelli was playing at City, his off-field antics quickly made him the media's favorite villain.
Well, what's he doing with that there? What? He can't even get his bib on there, Ray. I think I'm going to change his name to Mario Bibatelli. What's he doing? He can't get his bib on.
Straight hard.
They wrote all sorts of nasty stuff about him, but it was the Sun newspaper that caught Balotelli's attention. So when he was asked a question by one of their reporters, he said this.
Mario, hi. Anthony Gastronakis from The Sun, England. I wanted to ask you...
Listen, your newspaper, from when I get to England, he always talk bad about me, so I don't want to speak with your newspaper, sorry.
Wow, I cannot believe Balotelli was actually being respectful. However, the same cannot be said for the next goalkeeper who disrespected his coach. During the Carabao Cup final in 2019, Chelsea defied all odds by dragging a rampant Manchester City side into extra time. With a few minutes left until penalty shootouts, Chelsea's manager decided it was time to replace Kepa with someone better at stopping penalties. But to the shock of everyone in the stadium, Kepa refused to come off.
Christmas.
No, please, no.
The coach screamed, complained, and went into all sorts of panic. Kepa simply said no. And since a player can't be forcefully substituted, the coach had no choice but to leave him alone.
Aguero, absolutely incandescent and with every right to be. Well, he's walking away. He might be walking away from the stadium. Is he walking away from the job?
And so I didn't want the goalkeeper go to the penalties in that physical condition. I realized that the situation only after 3-4 minutes when the doctor arrived there. And the goalkeeper wanted only to let me know that he was in condition to go to the penalty. So it was only a big misunderstanding. Kepa was right, but in the wrong way, I think.
But while Kepa almost gave his coach a heart attack, the ball at number 15 had the entire football world complaining.
What a goal! Absolutely terrific!
Leading up to the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, Adidas was tasked with developing the official match ball that would be played at the tournament. Being the nerds that they are, Adidas did a lot of sci-fi shit to create the ball known as the Jabulani. This was supposed to be the most advanced ball ever made. But as soon as the first match was played, the complaints started rolling in. Some players said the ball moved erratically. Others said it rolled too fast. And they actually weren't wrong. A lot of silly goals were conceded, but amidst the sea of complaints, one player mastered the ball and bent it to his will.
Here's Forlan. He's going to strike for goal! What a goal! Absolutely terrific! Who says this ball doesn't dip and bend? Diego Forlan.
That man was Diego Forlan, who earned the nickname Jabulani kicker after scoring 5 goals at the tournament.
Check his run there. He was offside. Diego Forlan is very much onside. Checks into a shooting position. Forlan with a cracking equaliser for Uruguay.
But at least it was just a ball, unlike the players at number 14 who were battling for their lives. Back in 2022, the Brazilian national team traveled to La Paz to take on Bolivia in a World Cup qualifier. But after defeating their rivals 4-0, the Samba boys went into another battle with nature. You see, La Paz is 3,600 meters above sea level, and at that height, the oxygen level is low. Because they weren't used to playing football in that condition, they had to wear oxygen masks just to breathe properly. Damn, seeing this makes me appreciate these players even more. But the player at number 13 wasn't feeling thankful about a piece of equipment he was given.
What an opening!
During a match between Chelsea and Tottenham, Cucurella slipped and handed Spurs their first goal of the match.
He'll step in there when they've got the ball. Oh, it's a slip.
Stepping off and slipping was Cucurella. Spurs, Solanke in field of him. Dominic Solanke!
Then, in an amazing case of deja vu, Cucurella slipped again to hand Spurs another goal.
There it is in evidence again. For the second time Cucurella slipped. Kulusevski! It's happened again!
Wow.
Upset about his mess up, Cucurella ran to the touchline and quickly changed his boots.
Incredible. I mean, that is so unprofessional from this guy.
After such a disappointing performance, Cucurella apologized with a picture of the boots in the trash can.
Yo, Mark, the boots. Where are they?
Poor old Boot, taking the blame for a player's mistake. This reminds me of the time Hummels complained about his boots. Back in 2017, Mats Hummels was dealing with a couple of injuries on his toes. But because of how important he was to the team, Bayern needed him for the match against rivals Dortmund. However, Hummels complained about how painful his shoes were during training. Under normal circumstances, Hummels would have taken some weeks off so his toes would heal completely. But since he wanted to play, he came up with a crazy idea. He cut holes in his boots to allow his toes to breathe. And surprisingly, it worked. Hummels got the breathing space he wanted, and his performance on the field wasn't affected as Bayern ran out 3-1 winners. Talk about reinventing the wheel. but the guy at number 11 couldn't believe how shit his teammate was. During a match between Real Madrid and Mönchengladbach, Vini Jr. was in the worst form of his career. He kept misplacing passes and wasting chances. With Real Madrid losing 1-0 at halftime, Karim Benzema asked Mendy not to pass the ball to Vini. That way, they had a better chance of winning. Getting your teammates to conspire against you is a new level of shit I thought I would never see. But now that we've made it to our top 10, we have to take things to a whole new level. Like the time Ronaldo called out his manager.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
And Zlatan's epic rant against the referees. We'll get to those eventually, because at number 10, another player completely lost his cool.
Because clearly it cost us 2 points today. It's a joke.
After a disallowed goal cost Southampton a crucial win against Watford, Charlie Austin had to let the officials know how terrible they were at their jobs.
We scored a perfectly good goal. Make it 2-0. Game's done and dusted. We win the game. It's a joke. Going about VAR this, VAR that. Help the officials out. Clearly they need help.
But while Austin was just frustrated, Jose Mourinho took trolling to a whole new level at number 9. During a match between Inter and Udinese, Zlatan Ibrahimovic felt pain in his leg and asked to be substituted. Unfortunately for him, Mourinho is not a man who likes being told what to do. So he substituted other players, including the goalkeeper, just to show Zlatan who's boss.
Ce la fa, richiede il cambio Ibra, per poi andiamo da Stefano. Ecco il cambio fuori, Balotelli, Ibra. Si è contenuto. Passo. Mancini la passa per Ibra in area di rigore. Strada! Ibrahimovic! 3-0. Adesso voglio vedere se ringrazia Mourinho che gli ha permesso di inseguire ancora.
Landoni lo ha mandato a quel paese perché ha detto no. E comunque Ibrahimovic deve giocare fino alla fine.
E infatti vedo lì che è contentissimo di questa cosa. Guardalo.
But as funny as this might have been, it is nothing compared to the complaint at number 8. After losing 2-0 to Newcastle at the Carabao, the Arsenal manager had the funniest excuse as to why they lost.
What can you do to help them?
Nothing, just try and show them, give them tips of what we can do better. I think we kicked a lot of the balls over the bar, and it's tricky that this ball flies a lot, and we discussed that as well. So there are details that we can do better, but at the end that's gone. You know, this is no way back. It's about the next game, and that's our world. The reality is our world.
The balls flew a lot? Bro, that's what balls do. This reminds me of the time another manager threatened the English FA. Back in 2019, Liverpool were scheduled to play in the Club World Cup after winning the Champions League. The tournament was scheduled for December, but after winning their Carabao Cup tie against Arsenal, the next match in the competition was scheduled a few days before their first Club World Cup match. So, when asked about the situation, Jurgen Klopp said,
"And if they don't find a place for us, an appropriate place, then we don't play it. Then you have to think about a fixture list. But we will not be the victim of this problem." I think a lot of people from the Premier League were sitting in front of television hoping that Arsenal can do it. But I'm sorry.
Threatening to quit altogether might be wild, but it's not as crazy as what happened at number 6.
Is it a colour thing? If it's a black person or Indian person saying it, are you confused?
Back in 2001, Sol Campbell moved from Tottenham to their bitter rivals Arsenal for free. Since then, the Spurs fans made it their mission to torment him whenever they had the chance. However, 24 years have passed since that move, and Campbell has retired, yet he still gets harassed by the Spurs fans. So while on an interview with AFTV, he just had to ask why.
Is it a colour thing? Is it an underbelly colour thing that keeps you going? Because there's a lot of other players have done this type of move, similar move. If it's a black person or Indian person saying it, are you confused?
But while Campbell delivered a generational meme to the masses, Frank Lampard couldn't understand the level of officiating in the match against City. With the 2021-2022 Premier League title on the line, a clear handball by Rodri should have resulted in a penalty for Everton.
Richarlison blocked by Ederson. Oh, that was the hand. That was the arm of Rodri. Strong appeals here, and it must be. He's not given it. They have not given it.
But after the referee and VAR turned a blind eye, Frank Lampard had to let them know what's up.
And to think that Chris Kavanagh has not given that penalty, I've got a 3-year-old daughter at home who could tell you that's a penalty. I'm not being funny, Jeff. I don't.
But after being helped by the referees, Rodri had the nerve to complain about the incident at number 4. After losing 2-0 to Scotland, a salty Rodri completely lost the plot by calling out the Scottish players.
There seemed to be a lot of frustration out there tonight between the Spain players, the Scotland players. What did that feel like from where you were?
It's the way they play. You have to respect that. At the end, for me, it's a bit rubbish because it's always wasting time. They provoke you and they always fall. Like, this is, for me, it's not football. You have to try to, for the speed of the sport, you have to move on. But the referee has to take part on this, and he says nothing. It's what it is. They have their weapons. We have to use our weapons, and I think we will learn for the next time.
Yeah, bro might be the worst loser of all time. But the player at number 3 put his coach in his place. Imagine being your club's striker, and just as you're about to take a penalty, your coach keeps screaming that you allow someone else to play it.
Onun atmasını istemiyor. Kroke'de ben atacağım diyor.
However, Uche wasn't about to let the coach take a shine. So, when he scored, he had to let him know. But he didn't stop there. 10 minutes later, he scored a second, leaving his coach with a red face. And speaking of coaches disrespecting their players, Cristiano Ronaldo had to let everyone know how he felt about Erik ten Hag.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship with him?
The empathy is not good.
Do you think he respects you?
I think he don't respect the way I should deserve.
After a successful first season back at Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo expected the second season to be even better. But after sitting on the bench for several matches, tensions between him and his coach began to rise.
Replenishes the freshness. There you go, good night.
What's just happened, Clinton?
He's walked down the tunnel. I just saw him, I don't know what, 4 minutes of added on time, but yeah, they showed Cristiano Ronaldo walking back down the tunnel, probably to the dressing room.
If he's done that, it's an absolute disgrace. I think that's disrespectful to the team, to the manager, to the fans. They're winning 2-0. What complaint can he have within this? If they were losing 2-0, it still wouldn't be right, but I would sort of understand it. He clearly thinks he's bigger than the football club.
Ronaldo kept throwing tantrums, expecting that Ten Hag would change his mind. But when that didn't work, he scheduled an interview to say this.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship?
The empathy is not good.
Do you think he respects you?
I think he don't respect the way I should deserve. No, everyone know that.
Disrespecting you, think?
Exactly. This is why I say I don't have respect for him because he don't show me respect for me.
Fair to say this interview has aged well, but I'm sure Zlatan will want the world to forget what happened at number 1.
call me arrogant. And French people are famous for being arrogant. So I'm exactly like you. So you should love me.
After losing a close match against Bordeaux, Zlatan Ibrahimovic was furious about some of the decisions that went against them. But instead of complaining calmly, he went on an epic rant against the referees.
Don't even deserve PSG should be in this country.
However, he said so much shit that the French FA forced him to apologize to the fans.
First of all, was not aiming for the people or whoever there. When I said it, I was angry in that moment, and whoever felt offended or took it in a wrong way, if they took it, I mean, I apologize for them. I have no problem.
Or was it the fans that apologized to him? You know how it is with Zlatan. But as crazy as this was, it is nothing compared to the time Ronaldo slapped an opponent and when Messi mocked a coach. Click on the next video to see the times footballers show 100% disrespect.